Oh yeah, thank you very much. It's good to have you here once again. My name is Kendi Olofitui, and I'll help you answer all questions relating to how you can get started get into IT, especially in the UK. Now, a lot of people come to ask me that question. I want to get into IT and I want to get into the service desk job. What do I need, or how do I get into this? Now, I'm doing this video especially for people like you that keep to ask me questions like this. So the question here is, do you want a service desk job? Here is what you must know first, right? And don't miss number 3. The third point in this video. Stay tuned, don't miss it at all. Yeah, so everyone can do a service desk job. It is quite very easy. And I'll tell you why I said it is very easy. Just to prove to you that there are higher chances, if you're listening to this video, there are higher chances that you would be a quick fit, or you'll be a perfect fit for the service desk role. But before then, I'll just dive into things that you must know first before you decide if you want to go into service desk role. Okay. So the first thing is customer service experience. Yeah, customer service experience. So if you've done anything related to customer service, if you've got prior experience in customer facing role, this is highly valued. What do I mean? It does not have to be in tech, probably in any industry. The major thing is if you have picked up a phone to call somebody on behalf of your company to let them know about your product or your services, or if you have received a call on behalf of your company just to explain your services or to take an order, whatever case it may be, provided you have had a conversation with a customer on the line, on phone, either in a tech environment or a non-tech environment, that shows that you've got an experience in customer service, right? If you have that criteria, there are higher chances that you would be a perfect fit for the service desk role. The second thing here is, if at the point of your conversation during customer service you have demonstrated empathy, patience, professionalism, then yes, you have the basic requirement for a service desk role. You know, if an angry user has called you, probably your company does delivery, and there's a user that has called you, you have taken the order, you've given it to your dispatch rider or whatever. Now they've gone to deliver it. Along the line, there's been an issue, and the customer has called you back, and you pick the call. You were able to, listen to the customer, let the customer explain what went wrong, or the customer has called you in a very hungry tone because of course they're hungry, and you've been able to professionally accommodate them and calm them down just to get to know what went wrong, and then try to be like, not really solve it, but be like a bridge to connect the customer's issues directly with what they face or with the company that will solve it. If you have done any of this in the past, number one, you are qualified to for the service desk role, right? The second one is, if you have an excellent communication skill, chances are that you are also qualified for the service desk role. What do I mean by excellent communication skill? It's the ability to clearly explain technical issues to non-technical users. Like I said earlier, you may work in, let's say, for instance, real estate company, and you have clients calling in to book, let's say, viewing for, let's say, a plot of land you sell or for buildings that you sell. So if you are able to clearly explain, when you want to sell a house, you are not saying technical jargon. There are a lot of technical jargons that comes with selling a building, such as you could say the piling of the building was deeply done with some infrastructure. They maintained 57 centimeters. You don't want to sell a house and you're saying we had 57.2 centimeters of block in the dimension of 4.3 to bring it down to a no. Those things are technical things that your engineers on the site would know. But then you are interfacing with a user that do not necessarily need these technical details. What they just need is your what's it called now? Your foundation is quite formidable to be able to withstand whatever pressure that is coming on the building. So if you have the ability to be able to take complex things, it could be in any industry, and explain it in a simple way to people that are not in the industry, then you have a chance to service desk role. Then another one is if you've got a strong listening skills and a calm, customer focused approach, then there are higher chances that you are qualified to be a service desk analyst. Now, there's something that is called active listening. That's your ability to, one thing about communication is it doesn't have to be you are the wrong person at all times. Sometimes you are speaking with someone who does not know the right way, to channel their communication or to pass their message across to you. Then they rely on you to listen to them calmly and focus on, try to navigate your way through what their questions would likely be. Then you help them out because they may not put their questions the right way, but because you have excellent communication, and they say communication is a two-way thing. I don't just talk to you and I leave. I talk to you and I hear feedback from you, which shows that we are both on the same page. So if you are somebody that have communicated anything with anybody and the person has understood you before through feedback, then Service Desk is for you. And the third one is problem solving and analytical thinking. Now, there's one thing about problem solving. You don't have to, there are no manual that shows you exactly how to solve all problems. So they rely on your abilities to think. You know, somebody calls you to say, I have a problem with my laptop. It's not coming on. It's not coming on is just a generic question. If you ask anybody that is in the service desk or any engineer, if you call them to just say, my laptop is not coming on, trust me, they are not magicians, and they're not just going to jump on the laptop to say, tap it 3 times and it will come up. So what do they do? They use their analytical thinking skills to find out, to ask you some set of questions that can trigger and provide like a clue to what actually went wrong with your laptop. So you may find yourself in a scenario, or if you are that person that find yourself in a scenario where issues come up, and before you just jump into a conclusion, you are able to calm down and then probe the issue with some checklist questions. Then there are chances that service desk is for you. For instance, somebody calls me to say my laptop does not come on. Okay, it's fine. Can you ask the person, if you press on the power button, does it show any light or it does not? Questions like, is it charged? When did you plug it last? Is there power at the source? Your charger, when did you use it last? Is it bad? Then you ask those checklists of questions before you now get into the root of the matter. So if you are this person that you don't just think see service desk as a one-way problem solving pattern. No, it comes in different ways. Sometimes you just need to calm the user down to wait for 10 seconds before the issue is resolved. Some people are not that patient. They just want to click something and they want it to come up immediately. But this is it. Sometimes you could have a slow network, a glitch, something that is just so minor that all you need to do is just wait for 30 seconds and then your system comes back. So you need to be able to evaluate the user and let them know reasons why these systems act this way and why they need to try something different. So you have to help them think on how the system works, and this will help the users to understand and be able to calm down and resolve some issues even themselves before reaching out to you. So your ability to access, troubleshoot, and resolve issues effectively, it's a major requirement. Can this be learned? Of course, absolutely, it can be learned. Then another one is using logical steps to get to the root of your problems and escalate appropriately when needed. You see, when you're in service desk, you are not required to solve all problems. As a matter of fact, you are just referred to as the first line contact. So what this means is users can reach out to you, they can call you, but then they don't expect you to solve or resolve all the problem. So what you can do is this time, what you can do is you listen to them, you listen to their request, you create a ticket, then you ascertain or you access if you have the access to solve that problem. If you do, you have what is called SLA, service level agreement. It could be resolved immediately. If not, you have some specific time in accordance to agreement on when that problem should be resolved. And if it's not within your access to resolve it, what do? You escalate it to your other team. So your role is not to face all problems and solve them. Your role is to be the first point of contact from the users. Then you can easily direct whatever need to other teams, right? So you need this problem solving and analytical thinking. When a user is telling you something, you should be able to decipher easily that this is not for your team to handle. So what do? You create a ticket for the person, or if they have an existing ticket, you simply escalate it to the required team, right? So the next one is strong technical background. Yeah, sometimes when we say strong technical background, uh, it may be mistaken for doing the deep technical things. No, for the service desk, which is basically the first line, what you need is just basic IT skills, like basic IT skills. You can get in. That's why in most organizations, service desk is like the entry point into IT, right? So what you need is understand basic IT skills, like how does the laptop work? What are the applications you use in your company? How do they work? And these are skills you can learn easily. Within 90 days, these are the skills you can easily learn. So we're talking about when you familiarize yourself with operating system. Everyone that has a laptop at one point or the other has used what is called OS, what they call OS. You may not know it's called operating system. For example, if you have a Windows laptop, you would likely be using either Windows 10 or Windows 11. And if you have Mac laptop, you will be using, you know, the MacBook. When you have the Mac laptop, you'll be using the what is it called? The Macintosh operating system. So you are already into this, but you may not be conscious of what names these things are called. So what you need to do is just to take a time to find out, okay, oh, this is what I do, this is name it is called. Then you get familiar with these terms that are used in IT. So things that has to do with Microsoft 365, for instance, I'm sure everyone that work in any organization must have been using Microsoft 365. The emails you send, if you are doing a meeting using Teams, if you have all your applications in a place using Outlook, you have been using these applications, but you just need to consciously know what names these applications are called, where are they used, and when are they used. Then there's another one we call Active Directory, basic networking, common software, and hardware troubleshooting. So these are things you can learn easily within 90 days, but they are things you must learn in order to be a perfect fit for service desk job. Now, the other part is understanding the ticketing system. You know, like I said, you are like the first interface from between the user and other applications team. So you need to, each time you get a call, you need to log it into a ticketing system. Depends on whatever the company uses, but you need to log it into a ticketing system, and then that becomes like an issue that needs to be resolved. Then you can now assign it to the respective team. Like I said, this is also a very important and strong skill you need if you want to get into the IT service desk job. And can this or could this be learned? Of course, definitely. So I move to the next one, which is ITIL foundation or knowledge of ITSM frameworks. So ITIL is information technology infrastructure library. It's like a framework on how the service desk should be managed. It's more of understanding the incident, problem, change management principles. You know, understanding the step by step guide or rules on how incidents or requests should go from one team to another until the request gets closed. So these are things you can also learn. As a matter of fact, there is a certification that is called ITIL certification that most of the employers in the UK want people to learn, because once you know the framework, you know the process on how service is carried out or value is carried out right from the user to the team and back to the end. It just shows you exactly how activities are carried out within the service management or within the department. So if you have a deep understanding about this also, this will give you a higher chances to get a work or a job in IT service desk. Could this be learned also? Absolutely yes, 100%. Within a month, you could decide to go either through instructor-led or your personal through personal self-paced training and get a certificate in IT, and then you'll be exposed to. Some people don't even require you to have the certificate; they just want you to have the knowledge of how this IT framework works, right? Yeah. So if you have this, there are higher chances that you're a perfect fit for the service desk job. So everything I've said in this video could be learned. It could be learned within 90 days. All you need to do is get back to your customer service skills, check into your communication skills, learn one or two things that has to do with basic troubleshooting of the computer, learn the IT framework and how communication is carried out in the IT space. Then the last one is you also learn how, sorry, let me see, some technical background. Yeah, use your strong analytical skill, to know how to troubleshoot basic things or how to fix basic things or how to think through a process with the user. Now, if this looks like what you like to explore, I invite you to www.learnservicedesk.com. This is where you would get to know what do you need to do, how do you need to get started, how long will this take you, have you got anyone that's actually started and used this path and they were able to get a job of their choice. If you like to know more about how you can get into IT, I invite you to log on to www.learnservicedesk.com and you get all the information you need. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.